I'm vlogging. It's boring. I'm clean. That's you, Mommy.
Hi everyone, welcome to Tortilla Talk Tuesday, and today's gonna be real raw. I'm gonna hardly edit this at all. My shoulder has been acting up like so crazy, and so I wanna try to not make that worse by editing a bunch on it because it's my birthday this week and Christmas. I don't need to justify why I don't want my arm to hurt. I just don't want my arm to hurt. Doesn't matter if it's my birthday or not. Anyway, I thought I would show you guys my Taco Bell order because I just got Taco Bell. So this is my classic go-to Taco Bell order. I always get cinnamon twists because they're amazing. My kids usually help me eat those. I love their chips and nacho cheese sauce, which I don't think is cheese or sauce. I think it could just be melted plastic, but it's delicious. I also get a regular crunchy taco and a bean and cheese burrito, no onions, extra red sauce. And sometimes if I'm feeling crazy, I'll get a chalupa supreme, a beef chalupa supreme. That is what I get every single time, pretty much. Sometimes I don't get the chalupa, but everything else I always get, which is so funny. I get like the most plain meal. I feel like there's so many fun, delicious things at Taco Bell, and I always just go for like plain old burrito, plain old crunchy taco, chips and cheese. I am just a boring woman. You know what? I shouldn't say that because I actually saw a comment. Maybe I'll read it right now. Maybe we'll start Tortilla Talk right away because there was a comment that I saw that was so upsetting. I mean, I always see comments that are upsetting. So someone left a comment yesterday and said, I don't want to upset you. Okay, well, I just said this was upsetting. So it was upsetting, but you didn't upset me. I upset me. But I've been watching you a bunch lately and I've noticed that I started talking more negatively about myself like you do. Like, oh, I'm so stupid. How did I not remember that? I may be the only one who experienced this, but maybe you could use it as motivation to stop talking negatively about yourself. And I think that that is awful. And I'm so sorry. That is truly, like, that broke my heart and was devastating to hear because I do want to be something that is positive on the internet as much as I can be. I know that I am negative about me and I kind of always have been. I know it's gotten worse over the years, but I think that's like a self-defense mechanism. Like, well, one, I have really low self-esteem, but also I do think like, well, I've trained myself that if I say the negative thing before somebody else can, then they won't feel the need to say the negative thing, and that will protect me from that person being negative towards me. Because that doesn't happen. Like if I don't point out a flaw in myself, someone else will. Now, here's the tea, is that people are gonna point out your flaws regardless if you point them out or not. In fact, I think that pointing out your own flaws to other people, while it can be a vulnerable, honest thing to do, when you do it constantly, you're telling people what to think of you before they get the chance to make that decision for themselves. So even though I'm talking way too much about this is why I like to edit my videos. See, I'm already doing it. See how it's just like so ingrained in me to just criticize every little thing that I do. Yeah, I think that it is just such a big part of me to be so negative because I just feel like, well, if I say it first, then they will know, like, I know that this sucks about me. And so then they won't feel the need to say it. It protects me from seeing that or hearing that from other people, which doesn't even work because people are cruel regardless if I mean to myself or not. I just feel terrible that like that has rubbed off on any of you, and people have also said to me like that can rub off on my children, and I really try not to do any self-negative talking around my kids. In fact, like whenever I walk past a mirror with my kids, we like look in the mirror and do self-affirmations, and we really try hard to like teach them the opposite, but that should extend to my internet friends as well. So I am sorry that I have rubbed off on you in such a horribly negative way. That is awful, and I will definitely try to do better. I think that another thing that feeds into this mindset of being so self-negative and that has trained me to just be, my default is to like hate myself, is the fact that I was told a lot in the business, in the industry that I'm in, having any sort of self-positive talk, I was cocky. Like it wasn't looked at as confident. I was told I was cocky and that it wasn't attractive. I have been with people in the past who, anytime I was proud of myself or talked positively about myself, they would tell me that I was cocky and how unattractive that was. And so I've just kind of been trained to think also that like any positive talk is negative, because that means I'm being a bad person by being positive about myself, because that means that I am cocky and not humble. So that's why I do it. And I don't like that about myself, and it's something I'm working on constantly, especially with my therapist all the time. So I need to be better about that. And I am so sorry that it's rubbed off on you. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be negative about myself, but you guys, I just talked for so long about one question, and I'm not editing this. So I need to zip it and eat my food. I finished my Taco Bell. It was delicious, and it's been raining nonstop where I live the last week, and so my chickens have not been able to get out. So I've been trying to spend time with them out there, but it's like muddy and gross. I'm so excited for the rain to stop so that I can let them play outside. It's not raining right now, which is why I'm going out there, but it's supposed to keep raining later. Anyway, I'm going out there right now to let them out for a little bit, and I'm just so excited for the rain to stop so that I can clean out their cage, because it's just muddy chicken poo right now. But since the rain has stopped for a little bit, I'm going to let them run around a little bit and get some exercise. And I'm super worried because Poppy is the smallest of my chickens, and she gets picked on by the other ones when they're bored. So it's really important for them to have lots of activities and fun things to do so that they don't get bored and start picking on Poppy. And the rain has made it so they've been cooped up in their coop. Is that where the phrase cooped up comes from? From chicken coops? Anyway, I'm letting the chickens out for the first time in multiple days, so I know they're gonna be excited. Are you so ready to go have some fun? Oh my God, Poppy, you look so muddy. Oh my goodness. Hi guys, how you doing? How you doing? You guys so excited. They haven't been out of the coop in days. I bet they're so happy right now. I love you guys. I'm sorry, it's been raining so much. All right, the chickens got some time outside, and while I was out with them, I grabbed a nesting pad because I'm gonna put it in my squirrel house that I makeshifted. Do you guys remember when I used to show you footage from all my security cameras of the different creatures in my backyard? Well, I stopped showing you guys all the different creatures and all the security cameras, and I stopped feeding all of the animals in the backyard because we were getting a rat and mouse problem. So even though it was really fun to see all the sweet squirrels and skunks and possums and raccoons and everything in between, rats ended up eating a lot of my Miranda costumes. So I don't feed the creatures outside anymore just because I don't want to welcome all of the nasty rats and mice. However, we still do get lots of beautiful wildlife and fun wildlife in the backyard. And right before we had this week of rain, I noticed so many little cute squirrels hanging out by my office, and they looked hungry. And so I tried to figure out a way to make it so that I could feed them but not feed rats and mice. And so what I came up with was putting a plastic like slick box that the rats and mice can't climb up onto. I used that and put it on its side so it's like a slick plastic wall. And on top of that, I put another big plastic bin that was broken. It had some Christmas decorations in it, but it was totally shattered, like the lid was broken. And I taped the lid to the whole thing, and then I cut a hole in the lid so there was like a little entrance, but it's about a foot off the ground. So rats and mice can't jump into it. They can't climb up the sides because it's this slick plastic material, and it's worked. So I was so excited because the first day immediately squirrels were going in during the rainstorm and staying dry, staying warm, getting a little snack, and it was so cute. And I put a camera in there so I could watch, and it's been so much fun. It has not attracted any mice or any rats at all. It's just for the rainstorm. But it has been so much freaking fun. First, it was just squirrels, and it was so cute. And then we started getting other stuff, and it's been like comical. Like, it's been so funny watching these creatures try to get into this box and get a little snack, and it's so fun. And since this is a tortilla talk, I'm not gonna edit it very much, so I won't put it in here because it's a lot of work to like go through all the security camera footage and find all the moments and edit them all together and like do voiceover and whatever. So maybe I'll put that in the next vlog, but just let me know if you guys wanna see that, because if you do, I will show you in the next video. But let's answer a couple more questions. Oh, Steph said, Seaglass question. I meant to answer this when I went out to the chickens and I forgot. She said, when do you think is the best time to look for Seaglass? I know you talk about it all the time, but I forgot. All right, got to do your research, girlfriend. You got to go on the interwebs, look up the city that you are in or the beaches that you want to go to, and look up like which beaches have the most Seaglass, because most beaches don't really have it. So you need to go on Reddit pages and blogs, websites, like anything you can find to figure out where Seaglass actually comes to shore. Now, I have noticed in the past when I was doing my own own research years ago that sea glass hunters are pretty gatekeepy with where you can find sea glass. Like, I feel like it was really hard for me to find any website where they'll tell you where to go. Everyone's like, don't tell anyone, it's all for me. It's actually kind of hard to find, but do your best to try to find like which beaches actually have glass that comes shore. The next thing you have to do is you look up the tides and see whenever the tides are going out, you want those low tides. If the tides go into the negatives, oh, that is money, honey. When the tides are in the negatives, that's the best time to go for rock hunting, which is what I like to do, sea glass hunting, but also the best time for tide pooling, and also the best time to go sea glass hunting, at least in California. I don't know about other places. Winter time after a storm, oh my gosh, because the rough waves and the storm and the rain and the wind and everything like picks everything up and moves it all around and digs up sea glass that's like 100 years old, and it's so great. So after a storm in the winter during a low tide, look up a beach that has sea glass. That's where I go. That's what I do. But we haven't gone sea glass hunting in a long time, and it's that time of year. It's Christmas time. It's time to make sea glass Christmas art. So thanks for the reminder that I need to do that. We have a big sea glass collection on the top of our piano. Here's the green sea glass, which I'm gonna take right now because I feel like I'm gonna make some sort of a Christmas tree thing with this. But here's all the marbles we found, beach marbles. These are so cool. These are all the sea glass pieces that are like the tops of bottles. See how it's like the tippity top of a bottle, top of a jar, stuff like that. Brown sea glass. Here's our pirate glass. So this is all the black sea glass, but it actually is a different color. Like if you put a light underneath them, these are all different colors, but they look black. It's super cool. But yeah, Eric has them all organized in different jars. They used to be in the podcast room / his office, but then now they're in the living room on the piano for some reason. But I'm gonna steal this and make a craft out of it because you distracted me with a sea glass thought. And so instead of doing the things I should be doing right now, I'm going to try to do a craft. It's much later, as you can tell by my hair. You guys, look how shattered my phone is. Can you see how bad that is? Ugh. I need to get a new one, but I really don't want to. It's such a pain in the butt. All right, so I did get distracted by sea glass after all. As you can see, it's all over the ground, and I've started working on this little Christmas tree thing. I took an empty water bottle, I cut off the top of it, and then I cut just this big of a chunk off, and then I made it into the shape of a cone and glued it that way. And now I'm gluing pieces of sea glass to that cone shape, and it fits perfectly around this little tea light. I use these for Halloween time for the kids and whatnot, and so the hope is that when this is finished, it can sit over this and this will light this tree up, but I don't know. I forgot how frustrating it is to work with sea glass because nothing sticks to it. I'm using B7000 glue and it's not working very well. And I've tried hot glue in the past and hot glue just peels right off of glass. So that doesn't work. I'll figure that out later. Anyway, let's answer some more questions and then call it a night. To be honest, I don't know if I'm going to be posting any more vlogs this week. The original plan was to just post as usual this week, but it's my birthday on Thursday. Wait, no, it's not. It's my birthday Friday. When's my birthday? I don't know, but I want to do nothing. I literally want to do nothing on my birthday. I want to rot. I have no plans. I've begged everyone else to not make plans. I've said I don't want anything. I don't want to do anything. I want to do nothing. I just want to hang with my kids and my husband and maybe a couple friends if I happen to see them, but I'm not inviting anyone over. I'm not expecting anyone to come over. I'm just gonna do nothing. I don't want to make a single decision. I don't want to have a single confrontation. I don't want to make a phone call. I don't want to look at my phone. I don't want to look at a camera. I don't want to open my eyes. Now that might sound like the most depressing, miserable birthday you've ever heard of, and me in the past would agree with you. But right now, that sounds pretty glorious. So I don't know if I'll post or not. And the same goes for like the Relax podcast. I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even be saying this and everything's just going to go as planned and everything. You'll just get a bunch of vlogs and you'll get the Relax podcast, but there is a chance you won't. It just depends on how I'm feeling later in the week. I might answer a few questions and then I'm going to go. All right. I love this idea. Corinne Curtis said, do you know about the crystal fairy? This was a comment on the vlog where I was charging my crystals in the moonlight. Says, we actually live in your neck of the woods. And if my children put their shoes outside on the night of the full moon, the crystal fairy will fill their shoes with crystals. Now, you do not have to twist my arm to get me to celebrate a different little tradition, holiday, anything with my kids. Anything that is magical, holiday-ish, or mystical, fun, fairy, anything, I'm doing it. So I'm very excited to tell them about that when they wake up. Emerald Eyes said, to a TikTok question, my husband and I are expecting our first. Congratulations! I hope your pregnancy is amazing. It's looking like this sweet little love is going to be delivered via a C-section. I've had a C-section, C-section mamas unite, and I'm petrified. Understandable. I was petrified too, but I was also petrified of vaginal birth. All of it is a little bit petrifying because you've never done it, so you don't know what it's going to be like. Do you have any tips and tricks for aftercare that may go beyond the hospital's normal instructions? Out of all the women in my family, I'll be the first one not delivering vaginally, and I feel so isolated. I totally understand that is really scary, and the idea of a C-section is super scary. All of it is scary. Pregnancy is scary. Having kids is scary. It's all very scary, and I can imagine that must feel so isolating. Before I say anything else, I'm gonna tell you that my experience is not going to be your experience. Your experience is the only experience that you're going to have that you can relate to. Like, no one else on earth is going to be able to tell you what to do or how to prepare or aftercare or before care, anything that's going to be just right for you, because you're different than everybody else. And just trust your gut, because you know best for that baby. You are that baby's mama. That baby chose you. You chose that baby. You know best. You are the perfect person to raise that child, to make decisions for that child, and you're going to do a great job. No matter what anyone else says, no matter what advice you're given, you will know what's best, always. So don't forget that. Keeping my pregnancy pillow after all my kids were born was great, but especially after the C-section birth, because moving around in bed after a C-section was painful for me. It was pretty painful. So I'm not gonna lie to you, but that was just my experience. So having the pregnancy pillow was really helpful to try to get comfortable, and it was helpful for if I've ever moved in the bed to have something to hold on to. So keep that around if you have a pregnancy pillow. I think a lot of moms do this nowadays, but something that was life-saving to me was having my little pregnancy pumping baby cart that was on wheels that I could roll anywhere that I was. So if I was in bed and parked there for the day, or if I was downstairs on the couch and parked there, I could just roll it to wherever I was, or have someone else roll it for me to wherever I was. And on that thing was my big old jug of water, my favorite snacks, maybe some candy, stuff for the baby, obviously, or babies in my situation, with, diapers and wipes and binkies. And in my situation, I had my pump on that thing and bottles and blah, 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 blah. But I could sit here and tell you all of the best products that I enjoyed, but it's the typical stuff. If you Google it, and if you just look up what you need for aftercare, for postpartum, for recovering from a C-section, it's probably going to be a lot of the same recovery stuff that I could tell you. Yes, I use those diapers. Yes, I use those pads. Yes, I use those witch hazel pad thingies. I use the Tux pads. I use those Perry bottles. I used all the things that everyone uses. But the best advice someone gave me, and the best advice I could give anyone else, is to allow yourself to spoil yourself whenever you can, because you don't get a lot of time for yourself once you have kids. And so I remember getting the advice like, hey, if those sweatpants will make you comfortable and happy for even 5 minutes, get them. Like, buy yourself a prize. And I know not everyone has the means to be able to do things like that and is able to just buy themselves, their a really cozy blankie they've been wanting to be cuddled up in bed, or splurge on their favorite meal for dinner to be delivered one night. I know that that's not a possibility for everyone, but if it can be a possibility for you to do that, or if someone else can spoil you, if you'll let someone spoil yourself, because it really did make a huge difference for me to buy really cozy pajama pants that I loved, that made me feel comfortable, or even things that aren't monetary, oh, there's so much I should be doing right now, but I'm just gonna let myself watch another episode of this trash reality TV and I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. Let yourself do whatever you need to do and feel whatever you need to feel and get whatever you can get to be comfortable and reward yourself for working so hard to make this human be part of the world. So that was a long-winded answer, and I don't even know that I answered it very well, but I tried. I could keep answering questions, but I think I'm gonna call today, and I'm gonna try to finish my little tree. And I guess I'll show it to you in the next vlog if I finish it, because it's getting late and I'm gonna go. But thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope you have a wonderful week if I don't see you later this week. But I probably will, because I always say that I want a break from work, and then the second I take it, I always miss it, and I just want to talk to you guys again and post videos again. So I don't know. I'll see you when I see you.